Welcome, gang. Thank you for joining me. You can take just a few moments to turn off the lights, turn off your computer or the sounds that it'll make. If you're wearing electronics, go ahead and remove it to the side. We don't need anything disturbing our practice today. Today I'm going to be doing the practice just a little bit different for us. We'll be doing still the Yoga Nidra with a guided meditation, offering all of that, but I'd like us to really work on bringing the nervous system down. There's lots of ways to do that, and I'm happy to help in any way that I can to help the nervous system be more resilient. That's what we want, right? Think of a trampoline. When we jump on a brand new trampoline, right, we get a lot of bounce back. That's resiliency. That's so important to us. That is a huge quality that we need in life, because no matter what, life has its challenges. We have our struggles, we have our ways around things that we just can't work through, or we need to work through. But it's our response back to what happens is what happens with our nervous system. And over time, if we don't regenerate ourselves or take that time to restore, then our resiliency becomes like that old trampoline. The trampoline that when you get on it, it doesn't bounce anymore. It actually sinks down, and you go to bounce and it sinks down more, right? And you think of a trampoline, if it hit the ground, that's what happens with our nervous system if we don't take care of ourselves. And so that's why we're here today. So I thought we would do some tapping first. That'll help settle it down. I know it might look strange, but just go with it for a little bit and see how that feels, okay? Then we'll go into our Yoga Nidra rolling down. So at first, go ahead and sit on up. Get yourself super comfy. You don't have to be on the ground like this. You can be sitting on the couch. You can be sitting on a chair, and eventually laying down. And I'll cue you through that, okay? So for now, let's just sit up nice and tall. Off the back of the chair, as we sit tall, ear over shoulder, shoulder over hip. If that's comfortable, now set up how you need to be. If that's not comfortable, your feet can be on the ground. I'm doing crisscross applesauce here. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. If you need to put your hand on your belly, you can. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly contracts. If we're still noticing our chest moving, you can go ahead and take your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly. And if we can, at least get both to expand on the same time, if not just the belly. And then on the exhale, slowly releasing both. As we do this a few more times, I want to practice the belly expanding more, focusing there on the inhalation, just reaching up with the belly, out, side and back, lower abdominals, contracting on an exhalation. And don't worry if it's not happening for you. Sometimes it takes time. This is how we learn to breathe. When we're babies, when we're puppies, if you watch a baby or puppy breathe, they're breathing through their belly. They're not doing the adult stress breath. It's a time when we switch in our life. We're breathing in the upper lungs only and not breathing into the entire body, using the diaphragm. This helps us to get more oxygen into the body because we're getting rid of the stagnant air, that CO2 buildup in the bottom of our lungs, that stuff that's residual. It's okay, it's good that it's there, but we get to clean that out with a deep diaphragmatic breath that calms the nervous system. One last one. And releasing our hands by our sides. Now you can keep your eyes closed or you can have your eyes open. It's up to you. What I'd like us to kind of focus on now is how we're feeling. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being totally relaxed, totally at ease. 10 being feeling the most amount of stress or the most amount of energy that's not comfortable within the body. Some of my clients come into my office or talk to me on the phone or video, and they tell me, when I ask them this question, how are you doing today? On Rihanna, scale of 1 to 10 with our stress levels, 10 being the most. You're like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm doing good. You're like, well, oh, I'm about an 8. That's good for me. Usually I'm at a 12. Or at an 8 or a 6. It's okay every once in a while, but to have that on a regular basis, we want to be like in a 3 or a 4. When I talk to some of my clients about this, what it does is it brings tears to their eyes, or a big aha, that we don't have to live that constant rat race or feel that anxiousness even when we're busy. Sometimes we're just programmed that way. It's okay. But doing these things can help us to calm down. We pattern ourselves even living the same life, but have a different response to it. So let's go ahead and find our way to some tapping. You got that number in your mind of where you're feeling, right? What your level is. Now let's find our way to some tapping. It's going to be tapping on some pressure points to help the nervous system calm down. So with one hand, it becomes the log. The other hand becomes a karate chop, or if you will, like an axe. I want you to hit right on the side of that hand right here. We're going to start to tap, like karate chopping, or kind of think about an axe cutting into wood. Chop, chop, chop. Then starting to think in our mind, even though I'm feeling this way, whatever that number is, could be an 8, could be a 6, could be a 5, or you can name it. You can say, even though I'm feeling anxious, or unsettled, or uncomfortable, or feeling great, that's good too. I can completely love and accept myself. Or if that's not resonating, you can say, even though I'm feeling this way, don't even have to name it, don't even have to know what it is. I'm here in this moment. Let's do that again with a breath. Inhaling, even though I'm feeling this way, I'm here in this moment. Good, and releasing. One hand, doesn't matter which one, pointer fingers and middle finger. So like kind of a peace finger comes together, like the Boy Scouts, I guess, right? Okay, we're gonna start tapping right along the side of the ribs. So we're gonna start tapping right in this area softly, but enough to feel it. So it's not like we're poking ourselves. It's like we're tapping nicely. So let's say that again to ourselves. We can close our eyes or we can be gazing at the monitor. Even though I'm feeling this way, inhale and exhale, I'm completely in this moment. Or even though I'm feeling this way, I'm comfortable right now. Or even though I'm feeling this way, I completely love and accept myself. Find what resonates. Deep belly breath in and exhale. Even though I'm feeling this way, I'm here in this moment. And then we're taking it just underneath the collarbone. So right into the clavicle area, that soft part, right? Sometimes if we tap it, it's kind of like, oh, we're not feeling so good. You know, we might feel achy, like fluey, or if we're not, you know that point that I'm talking about. It's that like meaty part underneath that little collarbone. Starting to tap right here. Even though I'm feeling this way, I'm completely fine. Even though I'm feeling this way, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling this way, I'm completely in this moment. Now let's take the tapping to our face. So right underneath our lip, above the chin, midway point. Maybe we peel or draw the lip back. Even though I'm feeling this way, you can name or not name that feeling. Completely fine. Even though I'm feeling this way, I can be calm. I can be at peace. Now let's take it to the side of the nose, just at the base of the nose, off to one side. You can pick which side, it can be a different hand. Even though I'm feeling this way, I'm completely fine. Even though I'm feeling this way, I'm here in this moment. Or even though I'm feeling this way, completely love and accept myself as I am today, in this moment. Breathe deep. Taking it to the outside corner of the eye, so this temple. So that little kind of inlet right just back before the hairline. Even though I'm feeling this way, feeling completely fine. Even though I'm feeling this way, I can relax or I can restore. I can find myself to peace. Another inhale and exhale. Continue that deep diaphragmatic breath. And then our last point, right between the brows, just above. Kind of find that sweet spot there, tapping. Think of like maybe a little woodpecker in a nice way. Inhaling, even though I feel this way. You can say the number, an 8. Completely fine and accepting myself. Even though I'm feeling this way, don't even have to name it. I'm completely relaxed and calm. Or even though I'm feeling this way, I am here. Starting to back it out, reversing how we were to the side of the eye. Even though I'm feeling this way, I'm completely calm and at peace. To the side of the nose, even though I'm feeling this way, completely calm and at peace. To the top of the chin, just below the lip, even though I'm feeling this way. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Down to the collarbone, right beneath into that meaty part. Even though I'm feeling this way, I'm completely calm and relaxed. To the side of the body, just the ribs to the outside of the body. Even though I'm feeling this way, don't even have to say anything. You can just appreciate and be here, or you can just say, even though I'm feeling this way, you don't have to fill in the blanks. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose if that's comfortable. Last one, wood chopping. So, like an axe, cutting through our wood. Bottom one is holding still, top one moves. You can tap it a little bit quicker or slower. What do you need here? Even though I'm feeling this way. Even though I'm feeling this way. Even though I'm feeling this way. Last breath. Inhaling, even though I'm feeling this way. And exhaling, releasing hands to those legs. Palms up or palms down, it doesn't matter. Find what's comfortable. Shoulders, elbows aligned. Just notice, taking that breath, that inhale, belly expands. That exhale, feeling the energy flowing freely throughout the body. Resistance might be gone. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being relaxed and calm, 10 being stressed. Where are we feeling now? Maybe we started in an 8. Maybe we're down to a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2. And it's okay if we're still in an 8. We can do the whole process again. Typically, one round, we drop our number by 2 or so. No judgments, no expectations. Some people it's down to 4 points. All depends what's going on and how resilient our nervous system is. Now that we're feeling a little more calm, let's go ahead and take ourselves into a relaxation state. So I'd like us to set up just to sit back in your chair, your couch, or onto the bed, or onto the floor with a pillow, feet wide, hands by our sides. And notice how much calmer we are when we come into our yoga nidras. Noticing our hands. Can we find more breath into the hands, releasing and relaxing. Taking our attention to our feet. And our feet relax a little more, but they are already released. Let's take energy up through our arms and our legs to the center of the body. relaxing. Make any last adjustments to settle in. Eyes are closing or softly gazing without intent or focus. Take a nice big swallow, relaxing the jaw. Teeth slightly parted, tongue on the roof of the mouth. Feel the crown of the head release. Feel the eyes, the forehead melt, the ears, jaw, the chest, the neck, the shoulders. Feeling everything melt away. Breathing deeply here. And then starting to set an intention for our practice. Maybe just enjoying how our body is feeling after the tapping. Or maybe starting to tune into how we're feeling more often throughout the day. Because the more we ignore that, the more our nervous system gets on alert. When we notice our feelings or what's going on, we can take a breath and forgive ourselves, forgive others. Perhaps today we could set an affirmation, anything that resonates, but we'll offer this one today. I am forgiveness. I am forgiveness. We say it in the present tense. We say it short and direct. We're currently that what it is, even if it's something we're seeking. As we stay here, just notice the belly breath. As we inhale, belly rises to the sky. We extend the inhale and the exhale a little more, matching the exhalation to the length of that inhalation. Just focusing on the breath at any time through our practice. If our mind wanders, we bring it back. We're just noticing our body relax more. I'll be offering a little reading about forgiveness today. How to create inner harmony for ourselves. You can follow along, or you can listen to the music, or just follow the breath. One day, a sage gave his disciple an empty sack and a basket of potatoes. Think of all the people who have done or said something against you in the past, especially those you cannot forgive. For each of them, inscribe the name on a potato and put it in a sack. The disciple came up with a few names, and soon his sack was heavy with potatoes. Carry the sack with you wherever you go for a week, said the sage. We'll talk after that. At first, the disciple thought nothing of it. Carrying the sack was not particularly difficult. But after a while, it became more of a burden. It sometimes got in the way, and it seemed to require more effort to carry as time went on, even though the weight remained the same. After a few days, the sack began to stink. the carved potatoes gave off a ripe odor. Not only were they increasingly inconvenient to carry around, but were also becoming rather unpleasant. Finally, the week was over, and the sage summoned the disciple. "Any thoughts about all of this?" he asked. "Yes, great sage. When we are unable to forgive others, we carry negative feelings with us sometimes, much like the potatoes. That negativity becomes a burden to us, and after a while, it festers. Yes, that is exactly what happens when we hold grudges. So how can we lighten the load? Well, we can strive for forgiveness. Forgiving someone is the equivalent of removing the corresponding potato from the sack. How many of our transgressors are able to forgive? I've thought about it quite a bit, Master, the disciple said. It required much more effort, but have I decided to forgive all of them? Very well. We can remove all the potatoes. Were there any more people who transgressed against us in this last week? The disciple thought for a while and admitted there were. And then he felt panic when he realized his empty stack would soon be filled once again. Master, he asked, if we continue like this, wouldn't there always be potatoes in the sack week after week? Yes, as long as people speak or act against you in some way, there will always have potatoes. But Master, we can never control what others do. So what good is it in this case? Everything we've talked about so far is the conventional approach of forgiveness. It is the same thing that many philosophies, many religions preach, but we must constantly strive to forgive, for it is an important virtue. If the potatoes are negative feelings, then what is the sack? The sack is that which allows me to hold the negativity. It is something within us that makes us dwell on feelings offended. It is our inflated sense of self-importance. What will happen if I let go of it? Then the things that people say and do against us no longer seem like such a major issue. In that case, you won't have any names to inscribe on potatoes. That means no more weight to carry around, no more bad smells. The sense of forgiveness is a conscious decision, not just of removing some of the potatoes, but also relinquishing the sack altogether. It is through constant, diligent practice. This process never stops, because there is always more to dust off. Just when we think we've perfectly got it down, another test will come forward. If we continue the way we have, we will never run out of potatoes. Similarly, as we are stuck in the conventional approaches of forgiveness, we will never run out of transgressors to forgive. Sometimes looking at our ego and letting that go will help us to release the sack that can hold those potatoes. When we start to recognize that the true self can never be hurt, that is just the external projection of our ego that is damaged by criticisms and insults, we then bypass the constant striving to forgive. Forgiveness can become an obstacle and an unnecessary action if we realize that we let go of the ego, then our life can be smooth and effortless, with ease and elegance. So here we can put down our potatoes and the sack. Finding forgiveness for ourselves, for others, and then letting the ego melt away. Connecting to that place inside of all-knowing, that untouched place of peace within that each and every single one of us has. Breathe into that space. Feel at ease. Feel our body relax, our mind, our heart relax and calm. We can stay here as long as we'd like. But for now, our time has come to its end. When we're ready, starting to feel the ground beneath us or whatever we're resting on, wiggling a finger or a toe, breathing deep, revitalizing the breath. We can reach our hands overhead, stretching like a deep morning stretch. Finding movement within the body, and slowly, when we're ready to open our eyes, letting in the sunlight. Rolling to our side and using our hands to help ourselves up to a seated position. Let's find our left hand to our heart and our right hand over top. Breathing in beautiful, peaceful ease and exhaling that serenity. Feeling the warmth of our hands over our heart center. Feeling that place inside. The light within me honors the light within you. Thank you so much for joining me in practice today. Namaste.